in this video we'll cover Module 13. Module 13 is the second module in the drama unit, and it's a little bit different from what we've done before because the drama unit is mostly you writing this longer play. And so you've gotten the 10-minute play assignment. You should be working on it during Module 13. Module 14 is when you submit it. So Module 13 is kind of in between, and it gives us a chance to explore publishing as well because a lot of students have questions about publishing. So there's not a specific assignment for the play in this module, but you should be working on it. And so that's just something to keep in mind is you've got kind of a buffer module in between so that you have enough time to write this longer play. Writing it in 1 week is really not possible. So I do want to make sure that you have that opportunity to get into it a little bit more. So this module then is about literary magazines. And so most students, like I said, they have questions about how to publish after they're done with the creative writing class. Now, beginning creative writing, I would not expect to just go straight into publishing, but there are plenty of places that look for work where students may, may have a possibility to get their work out there. A lot of times it's not anything that's going to get you any money, but it can be kind of fun to see your work in print. And so we have a lot of options for literary magazines. First off, you want to do the readings. There's a short section in the textbook on publishing, and so that's a good spot to start and kind of get some ideas of how you can go about navigating the publishing world, which gets more complicated every year. The most recent complication, which our textbook is just a little bit older and so doesn't talk about it as much as self-publication. That's extremely popular right now, and there are a lot of ways to do it. The problem is self-publication typically means a lot less money coming in from it. So just kind of keep that in mind. There's lots of new ways to publish. And then I also have some one-act plays that I think are good examples. So continuing with looking at our discussion of the one-act play, the 10-minute play, then look at those examples and keep working on your play. So this is just more information on what a literary magazine is and gives you some ideas for how to navigate through literary magazines, what they are, that kind of thing. And then there are plenty of examples as well. And so this is just, see what this website pulls up. This is just a list of different kinds of literary magazines. These are the 29 best literary magazines for writers, and some of these are ones where they're pretty prestigious, and so you have to be a fairly established author to get published in there, and then it goes down to other types of literary magazines. And so it gives you an overview of them and just gives you a place to start with literary magazines and what to do with this discussion board, which is what you're completing in this unit. So the discussion board is you finding a literary magazine and posting about it. So your first post will be a link to the literary magazine and then answers to these questions. You can't post the same literary magazine as someone else. That's the only issue or the only caveat. So make sure that you get in here, and if you have a specific literary magazine that you want to do, go in and make your post. You can just save your magazine by putting your name in the magazine in there or something, and then you can always go back and edit the post. This button on the side with the 3 vertical dots, that is the edit button, or it gives you a drop down that you can edit it. Then you're going to answer the 5 questions about the literary magazine that you've chosen. You'll look through the website. We need the URL. Obviously, we need to know how often it's published, how it's accessed. A lot of times they're in print and online, or both. A lot of the online ones will be published fairly regularly, or they may just be once you submit it, if it's accepted, it's published. and so it may not be at a specific time. Genres, what genres do they accept? And so you can usually find all of that information in that submission spot. How do you submit work? What are the restrictions? Do they have any kind of contests? That kind of thing. And then when do they accept submissions? And is there a prize? Does it cost money? That kind of thing. So you're basically giving us an overview of this literary magazine. What did you find when you looked at it? Once you've created that initial thread, then you're going to access 2 of your peers' threads and look through their literary magazines. And then when your response post, I want you to provide some more information. A lot of times students will read 1 or 2 of the sample submissions that are up there and just kind of see what did you like about it. So it gives you a chance to read what's out there. You might also look to see like if the publication's won any awards, how prestigious it is, tied to a well-known university, that kind of thing. You can look at what kind of authors submit their work. Do you recognize any famous names from these submissions? That kind of thing. And then where does the money go if you have to pay money? So you're basically just adding at least 1 additional piece of information about this literary magazine to your peers post. So the idea is that when we're done with this discussion board, we should have a list of a bunch of different literary magazines and then a lot of information about each one. And so you may find that you are seeing literary magazines you've never heard of before, ones that you may even want to try and send some submissions to. There are plenty of literary magazines out there that are for kind of student work, so student level work. And so you're welcome to look at those. I encourage students to look kind of in the genre that interests you. So if you are entirely or prefer writing fantasy, I would look for a fantasy literary magazine, just because there are some that are very specific to genre, horror or something like that. So there's a lot of different ones that you can look at, and that might be something that you might look at in the future for publication. So that's the assignment in the module. And then of course you'll do your self-assessment quiz when you're done with it. Keep working on your journal entries. Those need to be submitted by the last week of class. And then you will also be keep continuing to work on that 10-minute play. So if you have questions about your play, you should see a response fairly quickly to your plan for the play after you've submitted that, and then you can continue working on the play. But if you have any questions, of course, you can always send me an email. Have a great week.